the final regular season Leafs talk. My lighting is bad. Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
That's good there. Very good.
Yeah, we're done for the regular season. We're on to the playoffs, baby. That was a nightmare. Enjoyable for Scott Laughton, I think. For Philip Myers, I think, but yeah. I'm glad it's over. On to the playoffs. Watching that game when the playoffs are looming, the most high leverage events possible against the Ottawa Senators in the Battle of Ontario. Yeah, I was rubbing the eyes a few times tonight, brother.
I got to tell you, I was going to start with a simple quiz. After 2 periods, I was thinking, I know how I'm going to start Leafs talk tonight because we're literally going to have nothing of note to talk about. Okay. I'm going to say, like, how my quiz was going to be, name one thing that happened. Like, name a thing.
Got it.
Name a thing. But
Philip Myers scored a beautiful goal.
But then a very high event third period happens where Phil Myers scores. I'm sorry. That's a top 10 goal of the season for the Leafs. Top 5 even, maybe. Right. That's outside, inside, 5-hole. How you doing? Yeah. And then Chris Tanev with what was a 1.6 left in the game.
Even less. I think less than that.
I gotta tell you, Red Wings, like, they've had a pretty down time, and the Iser plan has been taking a beating.
Sure has.
This is the darkest moment in the Iser plan. That a team that was literally not trying. I have never seen an NHL hockey team try as little as the Toronto Maple Leafs tried tonight. Like, it was like not beer league level. There's harder work in beer league than happens tonight.
My favorite part of the not trying tonight was seeing guys get kind of caught in between on you should hit someone.
Yes.
And then them pulling back and being like, don't hit. And then just kind of sticking the stick out, almost like when you play the NHL video game and you tap the Y button. like they're just kind of trying to make it seem like I'll make it harder for you to go around me.
And the fact you let the Leafs tie this game, and they'll not only tie, a Scott Laughton assisted by Dakota Mermis.
Yeah.
Overtime 3-on-3 winner. Red Wings, like, I know you've had a long and storied, amazing franchise, but I'm sorry, it's over now. Got to fold. It's over. Like, you got to move the team. Yeah. Where's the southern market that Gary can move the Red Wings to? Because it's over. This is a dark moment.
Those boys were 1-2-3 Cancun it too, though. They were all about Cancun. They were doing the same thing. They're not playing for anything either. They're not playing to get hurt.
Yeah, sure.
They were. They just, like, that's all this game was. It was two teams that went, I guess so, and they went out there and they skated around, and a couple of guys scored. Like, I actually think more embarrassing than the Tanev goal was Myers walking in and scoring that one, because you as a team kind of look at it and go, God, they're going to play that on highlight reels. Like, this is
filthy fill up. Yeah. You can say that again there, Lukey. Look at that. Outside, inside.
Well,
and the little hesitation to get Mrazek to open up and to slide at 5-hole.
Yeah.
Goal scorer's goal. And a thing we've talked about many times on this show. There are few things that good hockey players like more than the worst guy in the team scoring a goal.
A beautiful
and for him to score this goal, we don't have the angle on the broadcast, but what they showed of him going back down the bench and the looks of disbelief on Nick Robertson. Domi's got the no teeth tongue out. Holmberg smiling. Even Berube is kind of like, oh my God, what just happened? That's quintessential hockey, and this is so funny, man. This is funny.
I just love the Red Wings second defender in where he's like, nah. like look at it one more time. Watch the help. The 14 over here. Oh no, wait, it's the defense. It's 24.
Austin Watson.
Yeah,
that's like, Ole. That is Ole.
He's like, yeah, no, you just do whatever you want, kid. Have fun. Yeah, I'll just pretend. And everybody else just standing like, obviously Mrazek can make a save on Philip Myers from in tight, right? Surely? No, goal goes in. Okay, can I ask you one semi-serious question?
Yeah, I've got a couple like actual thoughts out of this, but give me your serious question.
I want to keep this one short
Yeah,
tonight.
for sure. We're not going too long here.
How
but
did you feel about Berube putting the stars out at the end of the game? And
that's the only thought. Then it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Yeah,
what are you doing? What are you doing? I could not believe that. First of all, I guess for like appearances, I guess you have to pull the goalie there.
Why?
Like, I don't know. I guess like maybe Treliving wants to make sure, like everybody wants to make sure he's taking everything serious and he's in the game. But it's, first of all, to even pull the goalie is truly absurd.
Yeah.
To like put it in a situation where you're putting an extra guy on the ice. Like if you want to put all the bottom 6 out for that 6-on-5, that's fine. But to have it be the big boys, how much did they end up playing tonight? It felt like more than they should have.
Here's what I'll say. Those guys playing like at all. We'll see what ends up happening here with this Brady Tkachuk thing where he left the game in the third period. But I'm assuming that's because Travis Green did the right thing where he said to him, cool, go out there and skate for a little bit and then you're done. You're not playing the full hockey game. You're coming out and then we're going to send you to the dressing room for the third period. And yeah,
Marner ended up playing 16:36 tonight. Matthews played 15:36.
Nylander 16 minutes.
Yeah, it's too much. They played too much. Like I would like to see those guys around 10. We don't need to get too bent out of shape.
Ultimately, it ends up being fine, right? Like the only take you should have from this game is it doesn't appear that anybody got hurt. So congratulations to the Toronto Maple Leafs. You went out there and you played a shinny game and nobody ended up getting injured. So this doesn't end up being a calamity. But yeah, I don't know, man. 16 minutes for all the guys feels like too many minutes for all of them. And throwing them out on the ice to say, let's get more ice time was kind of stupid to me, frankly. I just thought it was dumb.
And there was a moment where it was right towards the end of the game where they're on the ice.
Yeah.
And the puck comes back to trigger happy Phil Myers, who just scored one of the more beautiful goals he will ever score in his life. Actually, the most beautiful goal he's ever scored in his life. I will say that for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Matthew Nyes
in the NHL,
standing in front of the net. And the puck comes back to Phil Myers.
Yeah, I know.
And he hammered a 98-mile-an-hour slap shot with a minute left in the most meaningless game you could ever imagine. Bangs off the end glass, not even close. Like, have one sense of like, oh my God. You imagine that hits him in the knee or hits him in the foot, hits him in the shoulder.
I imagined it right after it happened. Like,
God,
that's all I could think about. And all I was thinking about during this entire game was like, there's the one really scary moment where Matthews gets knocked into the net, right?
Yeah, Lagesson, the former Leaf, kind of drags him into the goalie.
Yeah, and it kind of is a nothing play, but you can see Matthews looks pissed, like, hey, man, I'm heading to the playoffs. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And Lagesson's like, you're out here.
Yeah, that's what's really hard about these games, and where you're not. It's an NHL hockey game, and all these guys have National League instincts. They've got to this point for a reason, where you've been playing, your whole life. You've been playing in these high intensity games. You are the elite of the elite, and then you all of a sudden, right before the most intense games of the year, are playing in the like way less intense than a preseason game. Like this is the least intense game you could possibly play in.
But that's just instinct kicking in right there. Like you're a defenseman, you see Austin Matthews get in position, you're kind of trying to box him out. It's like, all right.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's really hard. And I talked about it a little bit today with Borny that it's just so stupid that you can't sit a guy out because of the cap.
Yeah.
Like I came up with on the show today, the clinch clause where last game of the season, if you don't want to have to play your guys, like you can call up a couple of AHLers that can play in your lineup. Like, so the Leafs fought all season long, had a great year, they win the Atlantic Division, and they're forced to play their best players in a meaningless game because they have too many good players that they had to pay a lot of money. Like it's just the reasoning for it is so stupid. So I wish they didn't even have to play him. So anyways.
Yeah, of course. I think that anybody with a brain wishes they didn't have to play him. And like I see this where it's like John says, Guys, huge overreaction. They put the big boys in the last minute to save face with fans who paid big money for tickets. I like what they did. Like, I don't even know what you're talking about, Johnny. Like,
sorry, Johnny boy. I don't think
you think there's a fan that's in that building who's like sees a Marner injury, was like, oh well, like I did pay for these seats and I really want, like, what are you talking about?
This screen name may get us in trouble here, but I'm just reading his name. Gorgeous Hammer says, hey, those 2 points could be meaningful if they play Dallas in the finals.
Yeah.
I love that. That's a great angle.
Listen, Gorgeous Hammer is on it.
Like, well,
because I had no idea that that's even a thing. And I don't know if that's even true. Christian just threw that out there, possibly no fact check, but
well,
yeah.
I'm just like, I mean, I guess if we're at that point, like the fact that we're doing a Leafs talk tonight, we might as well look. That got him to 108 points.
Mm-hmm.
That gives them, home ice over the Stars, over the Kings. They would have had it over the Kings anyway, but still behind the Knights and the Jets. So there you go.
Yeah, Stars lost like
7 in a row to end.
Yeah, 7.
Yeah,
I was gonna say it was 6, but I don't know if they lost their last game. But 7 in a row going to the postseason is nightmare stuff.
You know who else lost 7 in a row? Colorado
Caps.
When they won the Cup.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Caps. I think only won 3 games of their last 10 in the Ovi chase.
Yeah, well, the air came out of the balloon there after they were all celebrating in games that they were losing. Because Ovi was scoring goals. It's like, well, we cannot care about the results of these games because of Ovi breaking the goal record. Man, my vacation was so perfectly timed. Like he scored that this Saturday. I was like, goodbye. Enjoy it. Mahalo.
I came around on it. I came around on Ovi after watching just copious amounts of highlights of him just playing hard and loving the game. And I went, listen, would I rather have a Canadian hold the record? Sure. And I'll make no apologies for that.
Yeah.
I have a deep appreciation for how much Ovechkin loves hockey, loves the boys.
Yep.
Yeah. And just if you're talking, John would have loved him. John, the guy who wrote in, who pays for the tickets, who's so happy for the people that paid money for that hockey game. He loved Ovi because Ovi never cheated you. It's like, I this is kind of a bad comparison. But it's kind of like the Russell Westbrook thing, which is, hey, Russell Westbrook has his flaws as an NBA player, but he would never cheat you out of your dollar if you go see a Russell Westbrook game. He has
you're getting 100% effort every moment of every
might
game.
Not always look pretty, might be a lot of bricks, but you're getting your money's worth. Anyway, it's on to Ottawa. I'm going to be doing a full preview show tomorrow, so I don't want to burn really any of this. And if anybody listens to my podcast, I had Stumpy Thomas on today. It was great going down memory lane, getting some of the quotes. Buddy, the guy on the air is talking about how he bleeds blue and white, and how he cared about, even after he wasn't a Leaf, paying attention to the Battle of Ontario series.
Man.
But so we've talked about this before. There's very few moments where you just don't feel like you're being a professional, where you get a little fanboy, and it's always the guys that are from your childhood that you loved. Right?
Of course, yes.
Like I've interviewed way bigger athletes than Steve Thomas. And yet when he's talking about how he bleeds blue and white and how he cares, and then he says we don't lose to Ottawa, I'm just like, all right. So I'm basically just 13-year-old me doing the show at this point, folks. Let me just tell you.
What do you like to do in your free time, Steve?
100%. Exactly. Is it cool playing in the NHL? Was it cool? That's basically the level of questions that I ended up getting. But I got a preview pod, but what do you want to do here?
Well,
prediction?
I just saw tonight in Ottawa, Julian McKenzie, who covers them for The Athletic, sent out a tweet
that's great work.
That they were chanting Leafs suck already, so they're already getting all fired up over there.
Love it.
I love it too. But it's like, you better get them in now before 60% of the Leaf fans come in there and chant "Go Leafs, go." I do take a little bit of pride in the fact that in their greatest moment, they finally made the playoffs, and they're playing their last regular season home game, and they're all excited. And it's like they're chanting about the Leafs. I do love that. I do take a little pride in the fact that it's like they're thinking about that. All the people at Scotiabank Arena are like, "Who are the Sens? Who are we playing?
Sushi.
Red wine.
No, I love it, man. And like I
Yeah.
said, I've been waxing poetic about this for the last few days. I've been so excited for this to return.
Yeah.
It's truly the best thing that could have possibly happened to people in the GTA. And yeah, of course, there is a huge chance that they get completely shattered and heartbroken. But I guess the way that I will console myself if they lose is that it's just the nail in the coffin for this strategy, this approach, this core. Because you can't lose to the Ottawa Senators. I don't care how plucky they are. I don't care about the regular season. Like, it's a completely inexcusable loss to win the Atlantic and then have this happen. So, yeah, I kind of view it as like the perfect thing. Do you step up? Do you continue the legacy of the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are 4-0 against the Ottawa Senators, and roll that momentum into potentially a deep playoff run? Or do you get shattered in the worst possible way and get some closure on what would definitely be one of the most disappointing eras of Leaf hockey ever? So, yeah.
No stakes at all.
Yeah, no pressure.
No pressure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the thing that sucks the most is that the Sens fans will they'll always have that. You know? They'll always have like them ending this era of Leafs hockey. So no pressure again.
They'll say it to their friend in their basement after they count their money from the tickets that they sold to Leaf fans who are dying to see the game.
Right? They sold them all immediately. Not real. Like, that's so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. Like, oh, our tickets are so much. It's like, yeah, it's because there's a fan base that cares is coming in.
Yeah,
they'll pay more.
It was always, we don't want to line Melnick's pockets. We don't want to line his pockets. That's why we're not going. And then he's gone, and they got a new owner who's trying to spend money and actually cares. And they're like, well, parking's expensive.
They came back and won 7-5 tonight, by the way.
Yeah.
Linus Ullmark, 5 goals on 33 shots. They really lit it up in the third period. So they were down 5-3. They came back. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Last game of the season doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Leafs came back. Leafs got a big win tonight, buddy. It's all good. It's all good.
It's awesome.
They stormed back. So did you want to do a pick now? Did you want to say it, or are you going to save it for your show?
Oh, I don't need to save the pick for my show. I'll just say that, like, I do have a full preview pod tomorrow. It's going to be 2 hours long of just pure Leafs preview from just about every angle possible. Like, I prepped for it for, I don't know, probably 3 hours today, in addition to all the stuff that I've been doing this week. So I feel pretty prepared for this series. What I will say is that I genuinely do believe Toronto is going to win.
Yeah, me too.
I think that Ottawa's blue line and their ability to defend is not going to be good enough for when Toronto does get those opportunities, and that the goaltending probably plays out fairly even-ish. But Toronto's blue line and ability to defend leads, I think, is going to be the difference maker in the series. And I actually don't think it's going to go 7. I'm going to say Toronto in 5 or 6.
That's going to be me too. I was going to say 5. That's not good. I'll just say Sens in 7 just for the juju.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that
both of us saying Sens in 5 is very scary.
I'm not saying that I couldn't see a scenario where Ottawa wins. They've owned Toronto, and they've got some really good players. They got a ton of talent. I just think that Toronto is the better, deeper team that has been conditioning themselves for postseason hockey for the entire year, and they understand this moment. And I'm hoping that they learn something from it. And truthfully, I think the first couple of games are just going to be massive, because the expectation for me is that Ottawa is a little tight and that they don't look ready for postseason hockey because their guys haven't really been there before. And Toronto takes advantage of that and goes up a couple of games in the series early. And then by the time Ottawa settles in, it's too late. We've seen that with Toronto in the past, right? Like, what was it? The second time they were in the Stanley Cup playoffs against Boston, where they looked like crap. And then they battled back to make it 7 games, but they were pretty much horrendous early in the series. Like, Freddie Anderson was obviously bad, but he bounced back. But either way, like, I kind of have that expectation.
Okay.
So
that's
my prediction.
Love it. Me too. We got the same prediction. Belief is the scariest thing, says Biff,
of course.
and Hap. Yeah, well, of course. I mean, listen, there's really one way the Leafs lose this series. It's ghosts. Yeah. Like, it's ghosts and choking, and like, it's a higher power. It's not on the ice. It's something from above. It's curses. It's ghosts. It's whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Like, the Leafs have a better team. They've accumulated way more points over the regular season. They've been better all year. You just, if they play to their capability, they should win, and they should win pretty handily. But Like they've, it's just that's it. But
yeah, it doesn't need to be said. It's out there.
Yeah, the ghosts are there. They're there.
Man, listen, all I will say to people is, we're going to be here after every single show.
Yes.
And we will ride the roller coaster with you of your emotions, because the Leafs are going to lose a critical face-off, and I'm going to be like, these guys have no metal, and they're going to score a goal in a big spot, and I'm going to think like, this is the year that they actually do this thing. That is the beauty of this. That is the beauty of believing. And it's like, it's just, you got to think that maybe one year it happens, and maybe this is it. Maybe this is the year.
All I got to say is it's go Leafs go season. It's passion season. It's car flag season.
Yeah.
The sun's coming out. It's warming up. It's time to dust off your best, Leafs golf shirt, Leafs jersey, show a little,
dust off your oldest one. That's
show a little chest outside of the little neck there, put on your finest spring hat. It's time, baby. Battle of Ontario is back. Let's go.
Yeah. Can I give you one actual take from watching all these old YouTube highlights? Because I've gone through like deep dive stat runs on all the 4 series, and
I'm saving my real deep dive YouTubes till Sunday.
Okay,
I'm gonna watch it all on Sunday.
I've been deep diving for 2 days. I've seen literally everything, and I've actually watched healthy portions of a lot of these games that are available, and we never should have gone away from home whites.
Oh, I mean, with the blue shoulders in the old school Leaf, that is the number 1 jersey they've ever worn.
Seeing them wear those home whites in those big games, I'm like, it's disgraceful that we wear what we wear at home.
If Brandon Shanahan is listening, which I know he absolutely is not,
easiest thing to do.
Just put don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
And just
roll them out.
Have them skate out on Sunday night at 7:00. Wearing those jerseys, and it's Leafs in 4. Leafs in 4.
All the players show up to the arena, and those sweaters are already just hanging in the dressing room.
Oh yeah, that's it. If you're listening, Brandon, I know you are.
Yeah,
put them in there in those jerseys, because those jerseys
were
just
good. So nice, man.
Yeah, they really were
so incredible.
And the Sens jerseys were horrendous.
Yeah.
The worst
they had
ones
some
ever.
Real bad ones, some real baddies in the bunch through a couple of those series. Anyway,
absolutely,
it's very fun. I'm so happy that this is again for what I think still is the best fan base in all of hockey. This is the peak passion. It's also an organization that, say what you will about the 2 biggest fan bases. Toronto doesn't hold ceremonies for making the playoffs anymore. It's not that big of a deal. We just go in that's what happens. They don't have.
They trotted out the mascot out to
they don't have
Parliament Hill.
The captain take the microphone and have a literal celebration in the building. But act like you've been there before, I guess, is what I would say. But whatever.
No, they don't do that.
Yeah, no, we're above it. Anyways. Subscribe to Leafs Talk on Apple and Spotify. It really helps the show, even if you're a YouTube watcher. If you're watching YouTube, you should always hit the thumbs up. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at JD Bunkis, at Sammy McKee. We're going to have tons and tons and tons of stuff throughout the postseason run. Preview pods tomorrow. Strap in. We will see you Sunday night.
Woohoo!